communicate well how to make a PBJ. And so I have this all here with me. Do I want to do it on top of my book? Yeah, I will. I'll just, if it makes a mess, it makes a mess. I forgot to bring my little plate. I usually have a little paper plate, but here I have all of the elements. All I need now is a volunteer. Do I have a volunteer who would like to instruct the steps of making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich? Do I have a volunteer?
Hello.
Who said that?
Me.
Erilyn. Okay, so Erilyn, what I'd like you to do, you can see that the elements are here and everyone's going to watch how you instruct me. But for you, you need to look away from the camera so you don't, or away from your screen, so you don't see. So you're going to tell me blindly how to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, okay?
Okay. All
right, so Erilyn's looking away. I just bumped into my camera. She could even turn off your screen. That's another way to.
I'm going to turn off my screen.
Well, we want to be able to still see you, but we don't want you to be looking at what you're telling me. But okay, all right.
Okay, here we go.
Please tell me the steps of how to make this peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Okay, you have to grab one of the slices of bread.
Okay, say that again. Do what?
Grab one of the slices of bread.
Okay, I have them in my bag here, just so they wouldn't get stale, you know. Okay.
And then take the butter. Wait, open up the peanut butter.
Which one?
The peanut butter.
Okay.
And dip the butter knife in and wiggle it around.
Wiggle it around?
And get peanut butter on it.
Okay.
And then put it on the slice of bread that you picked. Just smear it all on there.
Just smear it on, okay.
Smear it all on there,
yeah.
Okay. Okay. And then, do you have something to wipe the knife off with?
Not really, but I could do it here on the edge. Okay. Let me wipe her. She's very cleanliness. Okay. All right.
And then you can close the peanut butter.
Say that again. You're cutting out.
You can close the peanut butter or leave it open.
Oh.
So we're gonna get the jelly next.
Oh, okay. So close the peanut butter. I'm so glad you told me to open it to start with. Sometimes that doesn't get instructed. Okay. And then do what now?
And then, okay, so you're gonna put that peanut butter slice of bread down. Take up the other slice of bread. And then open the jelly can.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Stick the knife in there and wiggle it around into the jelly. Can you hear me?
All right.
Okay.
And do what now?
Okay. Wait, where are you at?
Yeah, jelly swirled around the jar, you said, yeah.
Okay, yeah, you're gonna like pick up jelly with the knife and then smear it, kind of similar to like what you did with the peanut butter.
Just anywhere on the bread?
Well, on the new slice of bread, on the flat side, the brown.
Flat side.
Brown.
Okay, over here. All right. Okay, boy, this jelly, it's got some mold in it. Okay. Yes?
So it should be on the flat side of the bread. If it wasn't on the flat side of the bread for the peanut butter, then you gotta go back to the peanut butter on the flat side.
Okay, yeah, I changed that. That's good. And now?
And now you can put both slices together, but peanut butter facing in and jelly facing in.
Good description. Okay, facing into each other. All right. Yep. All right. Okay. Wow. You did a good job. Peanut butter. And what's fascinating is you didn't add the other little description that I've heard before, and that is you could now toast it. Has
I
any
was
of you?
gonna say you could peel off the crust because I don't like crust.
Oh, you like to peel off the crust? Yes, you could have said that. But I, in doing this several times over the last couple of years, I've discovered that a grilled PBJ is a common way of. I've still not done that, but very good. All right, so what are some of the things that any of you may have noticed that Erilyn was describing, and I was trying to follow her instructions, and there were some corrections that she made that I had to. Then, what did you notice happening?
When you got to the jelly and she said, put it on the flat side, because you started putting it at the top.
Yeah, because you just said smear, so I started. Yeah, so that. But then she got real specific. Put it on the questions too, like what are the barriers to communication for something like this? Now, one of the barriers was Erilyn didn't have the opportunity of immediate assessment and feedback, did she? She's blind. Yeah, I mean, well, she's not blind, but we made her blind as to what was happening, didn't we? What are some other barriers to communication that could be clearly reminded? His nose grew. And there's been recent even capitalizing on that. There's a newspaper on the East Coast. I can't remember which one it is, the Washington Times or Post, that has Pinocchios where they actually rate politicians and how, things that they're not telling the truth of, and they will give Pinocchios. There was even a commercial not too long ago where Pinocchio was a motivational speaker. And part of the aura, if you will, of a motivational speaker is to inject encouragement to people. Now, it shouldn't be false encouragement, but he says, I see you, I see potential, I see you potential. And what happened? His nose just kept going, that guy's just lying. And so we all know what lies are. But how do we actually determine what we should involve ourselves with, what should come out of our mouths and what shouldn't? Well, it's going to come down to values. And where do these come from? As a matter of fact, you remember that Pinocchio not only would tell a lie, but he actually encouraged us in our motive that a white lie, I even said it earlier, it's not that bad. It's just a half truth. It's an embellishment, all kinds of excuses that we might add to it. But where do we draw the line? Where do we draw the line of what is just innocent and what is actually of a concern? Now, as I'm thinking of this, I'm thinking about... Good morning. I was driving my son to school. He starts a new massage therapy course today, which is pretty cool, exciting. But I passed this field and I flipped around and came back because this really applies to life. And it's a field that has little seedlings. Let's see if you can actually see it. Can you see it there? Look, little plants that are 3-4 inches tall. And it caught my attention because those just didn't happen. The soil had to be prepared. The ground wasn't just the dirt had to be prepared. Sometimes soil has to have what do you call it? The extermination of previous stuff, whether it be previous plants. I used to work in an ag setting like this, and we had to get rid of all of the last year's crop if it started to volunteer back. But I'm thinking like bugs and nematodes is a big deal. That certain vegetables and strawberries particularly can be ravaged if that little microbe is in the dirt. So the preparation for the stuff, for the ground, isn't just the dirt. It actually has to be cleaned and sterilized and then fertilized. And then, to get a field that's absolutely straight takes laser leveling. They have machines that actually will give them laser guidance on a plow and level it straight out, so that the water then later, when they put water in it, it goes evenly distributed. And then the furrows have to be put in place. And then they come along with the seed and they put the seed down, and then, we better make sure that the ground has some good fertilizer in it or that seed will never grow. And then we see these little plants, 3 inches tall, growing, and we're going, wow, that looks really cool. And in a couple of months, it's going to be a crop. And then a harvest. You know what? Our lives are like these seedlings. There are things that have been put into our hearts. There are things that have been put into our minds. There's dreams. There are ideas, thoughts. And I'm hoping this video will be one of those, that it takes some preparation of your life events, stuff that happens, and sometimes it might take years. Thinking of years, can you see that barn that's falling down? It didn't just fall down yesterday. It's been around a long time and then it fell down. Perhaps there's some seedling things happening in your life that have fallen down like that. Age, just, it's been so long since you've had hope, been restored and renewed. So my encouragement today in this thought vid is there are things that you and I both want to have a abundant harvest with, but it's going to take some time. Good morning. It's going to take Paul Belt again here in sunny California with another thought vid. 30 days ago, almost to the day, I think this is exactly 30 days today, I was driving along the roadside and I stopped to talk about preparation for the harvest. That's both the type that's in the ground when you're farming or gardening, as well as the type that is in your heart and mind, your life, as you are walking through life. That the preparation of the harvest is very important. The cultivation for the harvest of whatever it is that you're looking for in your life, it takes some focus. It takes some specific desire. People call it goal setting, planning. All those things go into it. And crops, and I'm pointing out here, crops need the same exact steps that you and I need in our lives. Soil being prepared. Jesus talked about how seeds were planted or set on different types of soil, and how the crops, or the plant in this case, a plant, flourished or not. And he challenged us to be good soil that wouldn't allow the type of soil that is hard and doesn't take in nutrients and water and have depth for the roots to really grow in, and not to be the soil that is cluttered with or surrounded with or immersed with thorns and weeds that crowd out the good plant and choke its life out. And then there's a soil that the seeds lay there and they really don't do much, and the birds come along and pick them up and eat them. Jesus talked about being good soil. That good soil allows roots, thoughts, ideas, plans to run deep in us, take up the nutrients so the plant will grow. And this is what I wanted to show you. The other aspect of a harvest is time. You do all the steps, you make the focus, and then time. Probably the biggest challenge to us is to allow time. Well, I want to show you something. 30 days ago, I stopped right here, this exact spot alongside the road, and the seedlings were like 3 to 4 inches tall. Then 2 weeks later, they're like 12 to 14 inches tall. And one of my friends, one of my subscribers here on my video channel said, "Get out the ruler." Well, I probably have a tape measure in the car, in the truck probably, but I'm not gonna do that. But I want to show you something. 30 days, water, sun, oxygen, so all the things that need good stuff, needs nutrients from the ground. But 30 days of time have taken these plants from a little seedling to a plant that is, a little more than waist high. Man, 30 days. 30 days, and this has grown that much. Some of us are feeling like, you know what, I'm like that old barn out there. Man, my life is just not going anywhere. Here we go, that barn, that one there. It's fallen down. My dreams are crumbling and eroding, and corrosion has taken place with it. I don't see myself as having new plants. Today can be the first day of new things growing in you, and all it takes is allowing the preparation to come into your heart and mind and soul. The watering of good things, nutrients of good stuff going into you, and then letting those seeds. The seeds don't have to be the best seeds in the world, just taken care of. But good seeds make better crops. And look at this corn. 30 days, time. Will you give yourself some time? Will you be patient enough to say, you know what, time doesn't seem to be on my side. I know, we feel rickety and getting old, and we're wondering, geez, how much more time? Set it out for yourself. Set yourself time to allow good things to come into your life so that a harvest soon. Now, when will this be harvested? I'll make another thought video here for you when it gets closer. What I really want to talk about today, alongside the road once again with this amazing field of corn that's growing in that an incredible oak tree up there that just stands tall, is that we often talk about a philosophy of personality, of goals, of how we should be, of living in the moment is what the phrase is. Do you know what that means? I'm not always sure what that means. I think to some it means if you live in the moment, you possess the moment, and you just kind of cast off everybody else. Or like in a cocoon or some kind of island. But is living in the moment all about you? Or is living in the moment trying to recognize that being is very important? I think part of what living in the moment should be is we don't worry about the things that aren't here yet. Oh, that doesn't mean you don't plan. You plan for schedules and finances and things that need to come up, and you have those mapped out. But can you worry about the things you have no control of, that you can't change? Stuff happens to you and me every day that we have no choice in. But we do have a choice in being in the moment. When we are still, when we are in the moment, tremendous release and freedom as well as focus can replace disarray, discontent, frustration, depression, discouragement, disappointment. When we realize it's not all about me. The healthy part of being still is letting go. This cornfield can't do anything else but be still.
So these are the definitions, the agreed upon understandings of how these words interplay and interact. Now, I'm going to ask you something. I'd like you to do an online technology word graph with me. You're all going to say, so pick up your much shorter time. Most young people think that that dating's been around since the beginning of time, just like marriage, but in reality it's only been around since the 50s, and only in America. And in the 50s, what was the divorce rate? It was near zero. And today, some 60, 70 years later, it's over 50%.
how's the dating experiment going? Well, I'm convinced that part of what's happened is we bring in the expectations of dating into marriage. The expectation of, if it doesn't work out, I'll get another one. A relationship, that is, another spouse. The expectation that it's temporary instead of forever like marriage is. And yet, all of you would agree with me. We want our marriages to last forever, don't we? And so that is one of the elements, the expectation that our experience has been dating temporary, whenever, into the forever. But the second thing is defining love. You've all heard this conversation, or perhaps you've even been in the conversation between a guy and a gal, boyfriend and girlfriend. She says, "I love you." He says, "Uh-huh." "Can't you say it?" "Say what?" "Those 3 words." Yeah, me too." "No, not those 3 words. I want to hear it from your lips. I want to hear you say, 'I love you.'" He goes, "Well, yeah, I love you." Now, when she says, "I love you," she says, "I lay my life down for you. The sun rises and sets on you. You're my whole world. I give my whole self to you." And he's saying, "Well, yeah, you turn me on." It's not the same love, is it? Love. We know that love is the one 4-letter word we have to express the same verb. And when we talk about, I love pizza, I love my new hair dryer, I love that new song of my favorite artist, I love mom, I love my girlfriend. Yet we know that the verb is not the same in any of those sentences, is it? That 4-letter word needs to be defined. It needs to be defined well so that we can use it well. The Greeks had 4 words for love, and so when you used the word that is a love in the context of the sentence you were stating, it was very clear as to what that love meant. The first one, and I have a handout that you can actually download here in the PDF. The first word for love that the Greeks used was eros. It's where we get the English word erotic. It actually means an attraction, a sexual attraction. I'm attracted to you. I love you. You turn me on, I will respond to you. You no longer turn me on, the love is no longer there. It's a conditional love. The condition exists, the love exists. The condition doesn't exist, the love is gone. We kind of express eros love in all types of situations in our culture in America today. We sell everything with eros. If you own this whatever, car, this sweater, this cologne, this album, this house, you'll have more sex appeal. You have more attractiveness. And so we look to think that marriage should be fireworks every day, and it's not. It is a good love in the right understanding. The second word for love that the Greeks had was another conditional love, and it's where we get the city of brotherly love, phileo. It means we have something in common. You have a big nose, I have a big nose. We love each other. We are in the same gang. We have the same hand sign, geographical location, color. We have this phileo, this love for each other because of that commonness. But if the commonness isn't there, we no longer have the love. The condition is gone. We no longer have phileo, that brotherly love for each other. The third one is another conditional love. It's storge. I call it toilet seat love. I know that's probably more information than you'd like to get, but bear with me. Storge is family love. We share a toilet with everyone in our family. That's why it's toilet seat love. We clean it up and we, freshen things up when visitors come, but it is not the same that we have for everybody. You could be ready to strangle your sister and someone comes along to hurt her and you stop them. You say, why was I stopping you? I was thinking, go ahead, I was going to do the same. Storge, love. Blood is thicker than water. It's you love them because they are your family. It's another condition. The fourth word for love that the Greeks had was, it's the love that will keep a relationship together. Agape or agapeo.
It's an unconditional love. Remember those first three: eros, phileo, storge. The condition existing, the love is there. The condition is not there, the love is not there. But this love, agape, is literally unconditional love. It says, I choose to meet your need. You need a shirt, you can have mine. You need some money, you can have mine. You need a shoulder to cry on, you can have my shoulder. I choose to be there for you. This love is a love that says, I don't have to even like you, but I can choose to meet your need. Your needs are higher than my own. That is the love that will keep a relationship together forever. It is the love that my wife and I have had for each other for 42 years. We went into our marriage with that idea. You know what? There's going to be times where you wake up ugly and I wake up ugly. We don't feel like we have a lot in common. We don't feel like we have perhaps even a family connection, but we choose to love each other. We choose to be there for each other. We choose to even sacrifice ourselves, not seeing what we're going to get back, but unreservedly saying, I give myself to you. Gals, you come by this love very naturally. It sets you up. It makes you prepared to be a mom, a caregiver. When that baby is crying in the middle of the night, you get up and you take care of it. You see, when we had children, we had 4. I have to confess, I would do what I would call selective sleep. My wife the next morning would say, didn't you hear the babies crying? I'd say, what crying? I selectively would stay asleep even though I heard it. I just was lazy. I couldn't get up and go take care of it. She got up and took care of it. You come by that agape love very naturally. Guys, the good news is we can learn it. And then both of us can choose it for each other. It will have the impact for a relationship to be able to last forever when we say, it doesn't matter what I get in return. I choose to meet your need. I choose to have your need be more important than my own. So that's what I want you to be encouraged with today. Use the word love the way it's really defined, the way the Greeks understood it. Don't just throw it around. Understand it, get a hold of it, share it, give it unconditionally. Thanks for listening today.